him. Upgrade anytime at Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
All right, Pat, head coach Dale McMullin. And Dale, your thoughts maybe overall on today's draft?
Well, I think anytime you leave the draft, you come away optimistic, but ultimately it's a couple years down the road, but I think we left with some good kids that we're excited about, and I think kids that can develop and become a Regina Pat at some point.
I don't know if you knew this, but today you made history. The first time the Pats in the history of the Bantam Draft picked a goaltender in the first round in Jordan Hallett. Your thoughts on him?
Well, he's a goaltender that we had identified all year long as one of the top 2-3 in the draft, and potentially it's yet to be seen, but could be, right up there with Scott as the best one out there in time. He's got a lot of upside, I think. He's a big body, moves well, he's athletic, and we beat it around quite a bit because it's a lot of pressure on a goaltender to step into 16 or 17 and get the job done, especially in what you could say is a little bit of pressure playing in Regina. If things go sideways, you don't know how he's going to react. But I think he's mentally strong, and he wants to be a pro sometime down the road. So I think there's a lot of upside to his game.
What do you like about Reed Gardner? I think in talking to Chad earlier, he was pretty happy that he was there in the second round. Sorry, Eric Gardner.
Well, with Eric, he's a guy that's grown in the last year. He's stretched up. He's improved his skating. We always liked his skill. He thinks the game. In Humboldt, he put up real good numbers, and not playing what you consider maybe a strong league overall, or with other players that thought the game and processed it like him. But he's a kid that really thinks it well. He can make plays. He's got vision. He's strong on his feet. But hopefully over time he continues to get quicker and faster.
You don't pick the third and fourth round, and then you get a defenseman, Riley Bruce, in the fifth, and he's a guy just about 6 feet. And you look at his penalty minutes, 165 during the regular season, and had a really good playoff. What do you see out of him, and why was he still available maybe in that fifth round?
Well, I think with Riley, he's one of those kids that plays right on the edge, and he's just a kid. Every time we seem to watch him, he was, you could say at different times, a little bit over-aggressive, but he skates real well. He's got a chance to grow, thinks the game fairly well, and he's just one of those guys that's hard to play against and you need to have when you go on the road as a player. He's an element that I think we need moving forward with some of those young, skilled guys coming in.
You didn't have a sixth-round pick coming into today, but you trade with Lethbridge, swapping with next year, and you get a young guy in Garrett Irwit. He's 6'1", a big body out of Kamloops. What do you see out of him?
Well, he's a young guy that I think started off because he was a lanky frame kid with bigger feet. He was a little bit awkward at the start of the year, and as things progressed and he got stronger, just one of those guys that we call it smoothing out, and I think he's got a long reach. Whether he can be a top 4 guy down the road, I don't know, but I think at least a 5-6 and contribute at some point in time.
I'm not going to ask you about all the rest of them, but you happy with what you got in the later rounds?
I think so. The Hayden boy at Airdrie, a little bit undersized, but he's skilled. He can think the game. He can skate. He's got tight space quickness, and like all these young guys, now we've opened the door. He's got to work at it if he wants to play in the Western Hockey League. But he's got the skill set, I think, and the mindset to at some point, play down the road. Zachary Cox, we took a little later too. He's a big body kid, played in Airdrie, that he seems to skate well enough. He's got a good stride on him. He has to get stronger, but they all do. So in time, I think he could be fine. And then the Holmes boy out of Sherwood Park, injured a lot this past winter, but when it was all said and done, had a very good Alberta Cup, and when you're picking that late in the draft, you're kind of going on gut instincts, I guess.
Dale, thanks a lot for this, and congrats on the optimism I guess you feel for today. Well, I was talking to you in 3 years, right?
Yeah. Thanks very much.